What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a part 2 of the Divisional playoffs. These games took place Sunday, January 17th, 2016. Obviously, we're going to go over the Seahawks, Panthers, Steelers, and Broncos, but if you missed anything of the other previous Divisional playoffs, the Wild Card weekend, or any of the games of the regular season, be sure to go back and check it out. It's all available on YouTube and on Android and iTunes under the GmiasWorld podcast. On YouTube, you're going to be able to find it right here on the NFL Commentary. And I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. But we're going to get into these 4 games in particular. Then I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my conference championship picks, which won't come as any surprise based on what I'm going to verify my choices by. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The Seahawks at the Panthers. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. It was 31-zip at one point in this game. And as you can see, the way the games go, I knew it wasn't going to end that way. And I knew the Seahawks would make a push. But I like the fact that the Panthers were able to get over the hump, because if you know history between these two teams, it's always been the Seahawks that's been a problem. And I think this was the huge step that Cam needed to be able to go, make that leap into the Super Bowl. I do like the Cardinals. We're going to get to that in a second, that pick. But the Panthers being able to withstand that push that the Seahawks were making, because that was a wild push. Like, the game started off crazy. I thought that, I didn't know what the hell Russell Wilson was doing. He's throwing picks. It didn't look like, Marshawn Lynch was, effectively mentally ready to play, because when he threw that first pick, I don't know if he ran the route and didn't know it was hot or whatever, but usually, like decent, I don't want to say decent, I want to say, most experienced running backs like Marshawn Lynch knows when the blitz is coming or whatever like that. And even though, the pressure came immediately up, up the middle, a running back is always looking back. Like, really, really good running backs, they're always looking back. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that pressure's coming. You know that you're playing a defense that, look, bro, somebody's going to be coming in no matter what. That's my opinion. Like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys are, you remember The Greatest Show on Turf. Who was that? Was that Falk? It was Marshall Falk, right? Because he got traded from the Colts to the Rams. And if you watch the way that used to work, it was a system. He was a very, very good catching running back out of the backfield. And I'm trying to remember vividly how it used to work, but it was designed plays, and sometimes they would just allow the pressure to come in. You know what I'm saying? Just allow the pressure to come in and whatever. But regardless of the situation, when you're playing a team like the Panthers, you can't just be running up and thinking about Skittles, bro. You got to be ready and willing and able to turn around and be at any given point. That was my problem with that pick. A lot of it went on Russell Wilson. Obviously, the pressure was overwhelming, on him, because, well, not realistically, everything should have been on the Panthers, because the Seahawks shouldn't even have been in this game to begin with. They shouldn't even be in the playoffs. What was happening to them, what was happening to them during the regular season, but it looked like Russell Wilson was a bit shaken to start the game. His face looked swollen, like mad stuff was going on, like he was like under a lot of pressure. Obviously, in the second half, they came back and did some wild things and almost, tied the game to make it go to overtime, which I think if it went to overtime, they would have possibly won this one. But all in all, the Seahawks, from the way they started, they had a great season. Jimmy Graham, I'm not sure about. You know what it is? Baldwin has stepped up. You have a lot of guys that people didn't respect, like Baldwin. I never even looked at him as a top slot receiver or anything, and he stepped up huge towards the second half of the season. They've gone through, so many other things that have happened. Marshawn Lynch was injured for a while. They brought in other running backs that got injured. They still really need a number one receiver, in my opinion. I don't know if Baldwin is really that number one guy, and I don't know how well Jimmy Graham fits in as a tight end. If they want to change him as a wide receiver and always line him up out wide, he's not a tight end. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to say that, but I'm not sorry to say it. I've seen it. He's not that guy for the tight end position. Let's just call it what it is. And I think they did a lot better with him not being there. And the whole forceful attention that he has to get the ball. I think that took a lot of stress off of Russell Wilson to help them get to this point where they were at right now. As far as everything goes after that, I didn't think that they would make the playoffs just by the way the Super Bowl ended, where they did the world's dumbest pick. So now that this is out of the way, I think that they can be able to go and relax, come back next year or later this year, and just be a little bit more stable mentally, that it's out of the way. People are going to always talk about it the same way we talk about, 4 years in a row the Bills lost. It's going to always go on, when the Bills lost in the Super Bowl 4 consecutive years. But I think that getting over the hump and making the playoffs and getting to this point will kind of help them understand, all right, bro, we threw a dot to Butler, on the Patriots to lose the Super Bowl. All right, cool. We good now. And they can move forward with it. In my opinion, I think they just could be able to move forward and proceed to do a little bit more, like getting out of that little that box that they're in, because that was a very devastating play. And like I said, they deserve credit to have gone this far, because the coaches, everybody, because I didn't think they were gonna be able to play together after that stupid ass call was made. That was the dumbest call I've ever seen in my life in any Super Bowl game. And probably any game to be in general. Why would you pass the ball right there? That was so stupid. And I still personally believe that it was because they didn't want to give Marshawn Lynch the MVP and they wanted Russell Wilson to get all the glory. And because of that, that's going to change the history forever of the Seattle Seahawks. Again, that's my personal opinion. So the Seahawks have a lot of upside, obviously, as long as they keep most of that defense in place. Richard Sherman's going to have to really buckle down and start to, I don't know what happened to him this year. He wasn't the same. Earl Thomas, Chancellor, he looks to be good. I don't know what's going to happen with his contract situation. I have no idea. But we'll wait to see. But I still think they have a lot of pieces there that will make them continue to grow, and they can probably get over that whole Super Bowl disaster and move forward at this point. As far as the Panthers go, man, to lose Kelvin Benjamin to start the season, to have a bum like Teddy Ginn at wide receiver, Stewart got hurt a little bit. They put in somebody else. The guy that fumbled, what was this guy's name? Something Payne. Alfred Payne. Bro, that guy's a bum, and they need to watch him. That fumble could have cost the Panthers, but that's when I knew that they were going to win this game, because his fumble wasn't recovered to start the game off, after he just fumbled the ball outright, like ridiculously after that big run by Jonathan Stewart. But the Panthers have gone where no man has gone before. No, I'm joking. It was no way that I thought, me personally, without him having the tools that he needed, Cam Newton that is, he would be the MVP and possibly win the Super Bowl this season. And you have no idea when I say that I've been riding this guy hard, and I don't care if you guys take it, you guys want to make a homophobic joke out of it. I've been all over this guy because I knew his potential. And I'm so happy that this man is achieving everything that he's capable of. And he's not even touching listen, he's not even at the highest, pinnacle of his growth. Like, this guy has a lot more potential. He's just tapping in right now. This is what Cam Newton has been. And I think that somehow, some way, through whatever divine intervention, I was able to get through to him mentally. Maybe he, just sat down and probably just like a little whim of it came in, like, oh shit, yeah, he's right. Bro, I'm standing in the pocket like a douche. I'm standing in the pocket like this. He's become so free to play the quarterback position, and that's dangerous with a man his size, with all of his potential. And I'm just so happy about it, bro. I'm so happy for this man, bro. You guys have no idea, because a lot of people just hate, and just can't stop hating. And then they look in there, they go into the bathroom, use the bathroom, look at their penis, and they hate more because they're like, oh my God, why is it so small? And that's your problem, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about the females, because females are vicious. Listen, if you think that men are the most haters, like are the most vicious haters, you guys have no idea. Women are so vicious, and they have nothing to really be, worried about when they go use the bathroom. Like, they just have a flat island there where they go use the bathroom. But, they may be lacking in other areas, but their vagina is just always flat, hopefully, unless they have something else there. They're hermaphrodite, have a penis too. I don't know. But the bottom line is women are much more vicious animals than men when it comes to this. But at some point in your life, you got to realize it's okay to give credit to other individuals. And I saw the talent in Cam Newton, and he just wasn't utilizing his full potential, and he still isn't. But just with what he has tapped into, this man is unbelievable. And you guys are gonna be like, what when he gets to that top point, when he's like that top quarterback, I'm telling you guys right now, you haven't seen anything yet, bro. This guy is an unbelievable specimen of an athlete and QB combined, and he just has to work on his accuracy a little bit more. They have the whole read option thing and the zone read going well for him. The defense is, listen, Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Josh Norman, them boys. Listen, that defense is ready to go. So I do believe once they should beat the Cardinals. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I do believe the Panthers have what's needed to beat the Patriots, because they also can score. You see, the thing about Tom Brady is you got to be able to score. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to come down and dot you up. It don't matter. I don't give a shit. Like, listen, I don't care what kind of defense you got. You're getting dotted up. Let's just call it what it is. You're going to get dotted up. It ain't no way that they're going to stay and smother those Patriots. It's not going to happen. But I do believe that they will be able to win this game simply for the fact that Cam Newton will shine. And offensively, they'll be able to put up points, even with that bum Teddy Ginn. So I can't wait for next week to see exactly what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys right now, I do believe the Panthers should, you know, they should be able to pull that game out, and I like where the Panthers are going. Steelers at Broncos. Obviously, we know the Broncos were able to pull it through, you know, despite a rather pedestrian performance by Peyton Manning. You know, there's an excuse that the wind was high and all that stuff like that, and the wind was bad, and I understand it, but Peyton Manning played horrible. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this should be his last season regardless. I don't really want to knock Peyton Manning, but the biggest difference between him and Tom Brady is that this guy, Peyton Manning, is just a choke artist. And regardless of his regular season accolades and all that stuff like that, and I understand it's very difficult to continuously come back and be that good in the regular season when he was a Colts, you know, when he was with the Colts, you know, Reggie Wayne, all the stuff that he's done. But this man has continued, what is he, 13 and 14 in the postseason? You know, it's a very difficult thing to say, you know, compare him to Tom Brady. Regardless of Spygate, Watergate, all kinds of gate, with the gate, all kinds of gate, it's a very difficult thing to compare them because Tom Brady has won regardless. And me, I don't even, listen guys, you know what's really ridiculous about that, the Spygate? You know, the more information that was brought out about it, I'm pretty sure a lot of these other coaches, they probably don't have like undercover janitors asking questions about, you know, play sheets and stuff like that. That was ridiculous. Like, if that's true, that was ridiculous. I understand that. The NFL, though, you got to go out there and win. And a lot of people cheat in different ways on these teams. Guys get it twisted like, oh yeah, bro, they're doing this, they're doing that. Bro, listen, trust me. These NFL teams and their staffs are doing whatever they can to win because it's a money-making game. And the more you win, the more money you make. You don't think everybody's trying to find a loophole? It's just like, you know, Bill Belichick was a little bit smarter than all you other idiots. You know, Eric Mangini ratted him out. Bro, it is what it is, bro. That's what happens, man. It happens like that because Eric Mangini allegedly told him, just don't do it to me, and he did it to him. You know, people that you work with and people that you're around, they will do things like that to you. You know what I'm saying? If you look at all the guys that have gained success after working with Bill Belichick, the man has created a crazy-ass money tree. But, you know, the people that he helped create the money tree for are the guys that were backstabbing. Because, listen, if I'm Eric Mangini, right, and Bill Belichick does that to me, I could never do that to him just for the simple fact that I know because of his tutelage is where I was at. You know, that's why I could never really respect Eric Mangini because of that whole situation. Allegedly, you know, he was the one that, you know, blew the whistle. Whatever, bro. If me and you are teammates or coaches or whatever, and we combine to do something, even if you try to do something to my team, I know and I'm aware that you've done it, I'm gonna try to counteract it because I've learned from you. But I can't come outright and just rat you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna confront you about it, and I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, listen, we about to get it on. We about to both be cheaters. We about to both do some Spygate. I just don't know how I feel about that because what has come of it? Eric Mangini is still, you know, I don't know where he's at. He's someplace probably being fat, hanging out with Eddie Lacy. He's not going to ever be anything near what a Bill Belichick is. And for you to try to tarnish somebody's reputation, you know, because of something that, look, if you know that he's doing it, you know, because you worked with him, how to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're close to someone and you know how they think, you should be able to avoid that. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I could never, you know, respect Eric Mangini, regardless of what anybody says about it, because you can't blow the whistle on Bill Belichick after what he helped to make you become. Because now regardless of what everybody says, Bill Belichick is going to the Hall of Fame as a coach. Bro, listen, if you guys think that what they've been doing with the New England Patriots is easy, you guys have some kind of mental instability. And keep in mind, I'm not a fan of any team. I just watch production. And for me to see the Bountygate scandal and then these guys continue to successfully do what they do, something's off. Usually when you cheat, it's not the same when you're not cheating. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, if you look at A-Rod after he got caught with, you know, taking the HGH or, you know, whatever any other player, you know, they stop taking HGH and everything just goes down. All the performance goes down. Why hasn't the Patriots' performance gone down? This is what I'm saying, and this is why Eric Mangini walks around with a tail between his legs, bro. Because you do that, and then now look at you. Okay, I went off on a rant. But the Broncos, they need to figure out what they're going to do with Peyton Manning. Would I play Peyton Manning next week? You know, Osweiler beat the Patriots, I believe. And look, I don't know, man. I really don't know. All I know is when I get to my picks, you'll understand what's going on. The Broncos, though, they have a great defense, and that is the only reason that they were able to win this game. Point blank, period. Steelers, without Antonio Brown, listen, they were depleted everywhere. Running back, everything, bro. If they had Le'Veon Bell, this game would have been over a long time. The Steelers would have beat the hell out of the Broncos. It would have been a wrap. We would have kept them moving. That would have been it. The Steelers are built for the future, though. You know, Shazier, all these boys, they're built for the future. Ben Roethlisberger just has to decide if he is going to you know, be Ben Roethlisberger or just be a pedestrian QB. That's pretty much all. With their receiving core, they are built for the future. Listen, Martavis Bryant is a fast MF. He went off. It was crazy. It was out of control. It was unbelievable. Okay, let me just let you guys understand that Martavis Bryant is the real deal. Okay, his speed, his height, he can go on and do some very, very good things. I think the Steelers are built for the future. I think that they have to figure out with Ben, because Big Ben has some games where he just throws the ball to the other team and he doesn't care. He's like, you know what? I gotta worry about my family. Remember when he got his concussion? I gotta worry about my family. He don't care no more. You know, he's raping chicks, not raping chicks. Maybe it was alleged rape. I don't know. Maybe Spygate. I don't know. But if this guy Big Ben continues to play the way that he's been playing, I don't know if with him, they can go on and do it. He is a Super Bowl champion. Great, I understand that. But this guy, you know, I know he's injured. It's going to be a lot of excuses. But at some point, guys have to learn that it's time to move on. You know, coaches have to say, okay, you know what, Big Ben? Bro, listen, let's work you out. You look kind of fat. Let's see what's going on with you. Let's work it out. See how we can do it. And then they got to be able to make moves, you know, on the go. You know, because consistently, even when great quarterbacks have bad games, they're not like Ben Roethlisberger's bad games. Like, Ben Roethlisberger has some games where he'll throw for like 40 yards. And then go beat his meat in the locker and just be like, you know, guys, I'm sorry. No, we can't do that no more. The Steelers are built for the future, but I'm interested to see how long Ben Roethlisberger will be there, because he's he's always getting injured now. He's not that indestructible Ben anymore. You know what I'm saying? His body is starting to wear down. It's not the same thing. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that, because remember, he's the kind of quarterback that likes to get hit. Tom Brady's lasting because Tom Brady's not really hit that much, and even when he is hit, he knows how to get up and do whatever. He takes care of his body the right way. Big Ben likes punishment, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's gonna go, but I do congratulate the Steelers for even being there as the 6th seed. That was huge. You know what I'm saying? Taking out, you know, bum-ass Marvin Lewis and those boys. It is what it is, man. They moved on, and they should have beat the Broncos, but it didn't happen, and, you know, the rest is history. So we're going to go ahead and pick the conference championship games really quickly. Patriots at Broncos. I'm going with the Patriots. I don't need to give you guys an explanation. And if you guys need an explanation, you guys have a problem. Like, look, I'm not saying the Broncos can't win the game, because the only way the Broncos will win the game is if the Broncos defense score points. That is the only way that they're going to win this game. That's it. That is the only way that that's going to happen. The Broncos defense will have to score points, because Peyton Manning is Peyton Manning, and he's going to be mad scared when he looks Tom Brady in his eyes. Tom Brady's like, yeah, punk mother effer, I got your number. When that happens, he's going to immediately shit his pants and is going to go through his uniform. Tom Brady has this man on his finger, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots. Cardinals at Panthers, I'm taking the Panthers. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you BS, bro. I think the Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. I've been saying that for a while, bro. You know, I just like the way that Cam Newton is making, he's doing things that Tom Brady does. He's making amateur and ridiculously novice wide receivers look spectacular. That's what he's doing. He's making his team better. When you're able to do that, the sky's the limit. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers. Those are my picks for the conference championships. And again, definitely download this on iTunes, Android, and watch it right here on YouTube. Subscribe, share it, do whatever else you got to do. Let me know what's going on with your day in the comments, how you guys feel about it, whatever. Let me know if you guys are excited for the conference championships. I'll see you guys next week, man. Until next time, one love.